In mobile games like Marvel Snap, the economy is often less than straightforward, and when you add in all of the varying bundle deals for varying gold and cash amounts in Snap, it can be hard to decipher how to get the most bang for your buck. That being said, thanks to data miners in the community, we know what are likely going to be the prices and contents of a number of upcoming bundles for not only the month of May, but also June. So in today's video, I'm going to run through all of the upcoming bundles, talk about the ratios of things that they contain in terms of price to objects inside of them, and give you a list of what are the best things you should be spending your currency or USD on if you're spending some real money on Snap over the course of the next couple months. Something to keep in mind when we're talking about this is these are data mines, so they could in theory be subject to change. However, in the past, they have largely remained consistent between the original data mine and release. The second is that I'm going to be looking at these from the perspective of someone who is an end game player like myself, meaning I am Series 3 complete. So the primary currency that I care about getting from these bundles is collector's tokens. If you're someone that's still in Marvel Snap's mid game, meaning you're still collecting all of your Series 3 cards, you might want to put a little bit more weight on bundles that contain credits in them, because additional credits do get you Series 3 complete faster. However, credits have diminishing returns when you're in the end game, because credits essentially just turn into smaller amounts of collector's tokens via the track and upgrades. All right, with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump on into the numbers and see what we have coming up. For May and June, there's going to be over double digits worth of bundles available in the shop over the course of the months once you factor in the Token Tuesday deals. The 400 gold, 600 gold, and 800 gold Token Tuesdays just kind of rotate through in order each week. These bundles, if you're after collector's tokens like a typical endgame player, are definitely worth picking up. If we look at the token to gold ratio in these, they're some of the highest bundles that this has to offer. So if you are a free-to-play player looking to maximize your gold purchases into new cards, the Token Tuesdays are primarily where you want to be spending that. As a reminder, completely free-to-play players in Marvel Snap get about 1,900 gold per month, meaning all of that gold for free-to-play players should be getting sunk into these Token Tuesdays to maximize your token acquisition rate. Now, if you're not a free to play player, what you should be spending your USD or gold that you're purchasing on gets a little bit hazy, as there are a lot of different options with a lot of different ratios going on for the next couple of months. Also worth noting here that we have this variance column where a lot of these bundles have one or two pieces of variant art in them. I'm going to run through those at the very end of the video today, but those are definitely a more subjective measure that could definitely tip a bundle in your favor or out of your favor if you really like or really dislike one bundle versus another, and the ratios of tokens to gold in them are close. Rather than looking at all of these bundles in this chronological order, I'm going to break this down in two parts. First, we're going to take a look at the cash only bundles and sort them from best value to worst value, and then we'll do the same for gold bundles sorted best value to worst value. Unsurprisingly, the most expensive cash bundle over the course of the next 2 months also gives you the best ratio of stuff to progress your collection with. The Beautiful Beyond Compare bundle, coming in at whopping 100 USD, is going to get you 10,000 collector's tokens on top of some credits and some gold. This token to gold ratio, for those that aren't familiar with how this is calculated, this is a comparison to how many tokens you would get if you were buying gold in $100 increments, converting that gold to credits daily, and then getting tokens from the collection level track by spending those credits. $100 in gold only converts into about 2,000 tokens using that methodology. So this Beautiful Beyond Compare bundle in comparison gets you over 5 times as many collector's tokens as if you were buying them in the base way that's always available on demand. A second thing to consider when looking at these cash only bundles is that the token to gold ratio in it is actually a little bit hazy when you think about it. And the reason why I say this is the token to gold calculation that I'm doing here is again comparing to buying gold, spending that gold into credits, and then getting tokens that way. However, you can use the gold from these cash only bundles to buy the gold bundles that we're going to be looking at here in a minute, meaning if you're, say, taking this 4,000 gold from the Bring the Pain bundle and you're using it to buy a higher credit token ratio bundle, you're actually going to get better than this 0.55, which is talking about, well, what would you get if you spend this gold on credits directly and then advance up the collection track level? Because there's so many permutations of ways people could be spending this gold on these other bundles, as you'll see here in a moment, there's not really a clean, straightforward way for me to say, okay, this is what this turns into, because different people spending different amounts or end up getting different ratios out of it. This kind of murky or haziness is definitely by design, because it makes it kind of difficult for people to track what does the thing that they're getting actually cost, which is unfortunately very typical of games in the mobile space like Marvel Snap. The thing to know at the end is that even though we can't calculate the exact ratio, the thing worth noting is that buying gold inside any of these cash-only bundles here is more efficient than buying gold at the 8,000 for 100 USD ratio, meaning if you're someone that's interested in getting any of the additional gold bundles that are going to be coming up over the next couple of months, you should prioritize buying all of these individual smaller bundles rather than buying gold directly first. Now, as I called out on the main page, when it comes to looking at the bundles that are available for raw gold, the Token Tuesday bundles are some of the best around. The 800 gold and 600 gold are the top of the tokens to gold ratio that you're going to get out of any of the bundles coming up over the next couple of months, meaning if you are a completely free to play player, those are the ones you're going to want to be prioritizing. I do want to, however, call out the tokens bundle that's going to be coming up here on the 25th. That has a whopping 4,500 tokens in it for 5,000 gold. This, while not quite better than the 600 or 800 token bundles, does actually end up having a slightly better ratio than the 400 tokens Token Tuesday, meaning it's the best ratio of tokens to gold that you're going to get for the next couple of months, meaning if you're someone that's been sitting on gold waiting for an ideal offer to come up, this is definitely the one you want to be picking up, it looks like. As you look into the rest of these bundles past the tokens and Token Tuesdays that are slightly less collector's tokens but still reasonable value, two important things to note. The first is that bundles like Thorg, that will actually be leaving the shop tomorrow, do contain a large amount of credits, which means they are more valuable if you are a mid-game Marvel Snap player still working to get Series 3 complete. These credits don't convert to collector's tokens at a super efficient rate, but they do give you a lot of collection levels, which is going to get you lots of Series 3 cards in a pretty short amount of time. The other thing worth noting is that most of these bundles here have a better ratio of value to get collector's tokens, even if it's not super high, than buying gold to credits directly does. Everything from the I Am Groot line and up here has a better ratio than buying gold directly, which is 0.33. It is, however, worth noting that the Mechhurt Connors and Itsy Bitsy Spider, while they are slightly less than buying gold directly, they do come with variants that we will look here in a second. So if you're someone that likes that artwork, that could definitely be a reasonable factor to do. Looking at some of these other bundles, the Chibi, Guardians of the Galaxies, and Ivo Tau 1, these are worse ratio of account progression than just buying gold and converting to credits, which means I would view these as primarily cosmetic bundles that are only worthwhile to pick up if you really like the artwork that you're purchasing along with that package. Some closing thoughts on the best bundles to grab here before we dive on into the variants that these contain. First up, if you're a completely free-to-play player, the Token Tuesdays 600 and 800 gold pickups continue to be the best value of gold to collector's tokens in the game. Continue getting those if account progression and getting cards as quickly as possible is your goal as a free or light spending player. Next up, if you're someone that's been sitting on a bunch of gold waiting for the best value tokens deal to come up, the package conveniently called the Tokens is exactly that for the next couple of months. So if you're going to have the 5,000 gold available to you between April 25th and March 2nd, that's definitely one that you want to pick up in terms of getting the most collector's tokens out of your gold possible. Next, if you're someone like me that is a large sea creature in the game of Marvel Snap looking to pick up every release as soon as possible, the pricing of this actually looks to be relatively stable, even inside of a month like May where we're going to have one extra release. For April, when we calculated what it would cost to get all 4 of the month's releases, it came out to a little over 200 USD. And in May, even though it is a 5-week season with an additional Direct to Series 5 release, the bundles that they are going to be releasing inside of May means that the cost of getting every card release over the course of that month is about 200 USD still, even though there's an additional card. I would wager that that's probably gonna be a constant, which is good to know for someone like myself that is budgeting month to month for my Snap expenditures. Finally, if you are considering buying gold in Marvel Snap, remember that all of these direct for cash bundles that contain gold in them give you higher ratios of gold to USD than buying gold directly does in the shop. So even if you aren't interested in those particular bundles and variants, keep in mind that the ratio of tokens to gold that they give is going to end up being higher than what's listed here if you're taking that gold and converting it into these other gold only bundles that we talked about earlier as well. If you enjoyed my breakdown here today, be sure to snap that like button to help this video reach some more people. If you noticed anything that I missed or had some thoughts to share, leave those in a comment below. I always love to read those. Let's go ahead and dive on into taking a quick peek at all the various variants, that many of which are quite good, that will be coming in these bundles over the next couple of months as well. All right, fairly quick light. We have Frog Thor coming in the Thorg bundle. The Earth 616 bundle has Hela as well as Baby Groot here on the swing. The Tokens has this Squirrel Girl inside of it. Beautiful Beyond Compare is coming with a collector, which is fitting with the 10,000 collector's tokens that comes in that bundle. I Am Groot, unsurprisingly, has another Groot inside of it. The Chibi Guardians of the Galaxy, which is not a good ratio in terms of collector progression, does have 3 fairly sweet Chibi variants if you are into that sort of thing. The Ivo Tau bundle has 2 beautiful Venom, Thor, and Lady Sif variants, which look very nicely when paired together, although I don't know that there's any competitive decks that utilize both of these cards. The Trash Panda bundle, unsurprisingly, has Rocket Raccoon in it. Don't let Rocket know, though. He doesn't like being referred to as a Trash Panda. The Marvels of Voices Pride is a purely cosmetic bundle here, featuring America Chavez as well as the Iceman. The Itsy Bitsy Spider has an Itsy Bitsy Miles Morales Spider-Man inside of it. The Hard 8 contains Dr. Octopus as well as Black Cat. Mechhurt Connors has a mechanized lizard here that's quite sweet. The Bring the Pain has a mechanized scorpion as well as mechanized hobgoblin here, it looks like. And then I Don't Like the Sandman conveniently has a Sandman sprinkling some dust in here. I imagine we're going to see a lot of this one all over the ladder. The Fiona Heish, I'm sure I just pronounced that name wrong, has this gorgeous Venom along with this Carnage that I personally am looking forward to picking up. And finally, the Spandexcellence has this gorgeous Spider-Man variant. That's another one I've been looking forward to as well. I hope you enjoyed the breakdown. Again, snap the like button if you did. Hopefully we'll see you back again real soon for some more Marvel Snap content here on YouTube. See you soon, folks.